I'm sure that we all either know what stress is or have a bit of an understanding as to what it really is. But for those of you who need a little more of a scientific explanation of what stress really is, stress is a mental or emotional state of strain and or tension that is a product of adverse or extremely demanding circumstances. As I am explaining what stress is from a medical or scientific point of view, pause for a moment and think of what or how stress is translated in your own point of view. Is it situations that make you feel uneasy? Or are they day-to-day activities that pile up, leaving you with little to no time for yourself? Or is it stressful for you when you find yourself doing absolutely nothing at all? Well, stress can mean different things to different people. But one thing is sure, we've all experienced being stressed or being in a stressful situation at least once in our lives. However, stress can be determined by the way we react and handle different situations in our lives. Now, if we were aiming to cope with stress, it's important to first understand the basics of stress and identify their different types. Yes, there are different types of stress, and understanding the difference between these two is the first step we need to take in order to manage it. The first type of stress is called acute stress, which is the body's quick or initial reaction to threats or things that we perceive as threats. I say perceive because threats may be different for each person. I may be threatened by a big dog, while others may find it normal. Acute stress can also be recognized as the fight or flight response, and it does not have to be a bad thing. Sometimes this kind of stress can lead you to either stay away from danger or even fight against it. Acute stress is not harmful, but if it's experienced on a daily basis, it may lead to anxiety, panic attacks, or other issues related to health. On the other hand, chronic stress, which is the second type of stress, occurs in a person when one experiences a lot of acute stressors that do not seem to go away. When the body no longer responds to the fight or flight responses, which should be the body's natural instinct, then it becomes chronic stress. A lot of people suffer from chronic stress, but aren't able to recognize it as it becomes a normal part of their everyday lives and it builds up over time. Take a moment to sit back and reflect on the two things that I have just pointed out and try to identify which kind of stress you are experiencing. Is it acute stress or has it evolved into something more grave like chronic stress? If you're not quite sure, one way to identify what kind of stress you're experiencing is by keeping a journal to reflect the emotions or the levels of stress you go through in a day. Then it should be easier for you to identify which type of stress you are experiencing. Understanding this and recognizing that you need assistance is the first step to understanding stress. Although stress can never be fully eliminated from one's life, it can be managed through a few simple steps, which I will gladly share with all of you.